Alrighty, guys. Welcome back. It's Monday. I should be okay to work with some tonight. I pretty much was just running new hoses on forklifts all day. I don't know. Weekends, they're tough on them frickin' trucks. So, it was not quite going all the way back. So I ran a flapper disc back there just to get her to go back into the tunnel a little bit more. So, I'm going to clean up both sides of the lip and get some Weld 2 primer on this thing. That side's already prepped and ready to go. And, yeah, start spotting this thing in. I think once the pans are all in, it'll freaking support better. I think that was my problem. If not, we'll figure out something down the road. So, let me see what I can get done. Guys, this is what I use to prime everything. Self-etching Weld 2 primer. That when I was researching it, I figured out that this is paintable primer. The old Weld 2 primer was so full of zinc, you did not want to, you wanted to clean all that up before you put any paint down. Because the paint wouldn't stick right. I don't know what this formula has, but they say you can paint over it, so I've been using it for everything. It's kind of spendy, like 15, 16 bucks a can. The 1K is regular spray paint. The 2K is epoxy. I don't know if they have Weld 2 epoxy primer or not, but I did some painting, industrial painting back in the day, and I've painted with epoxy, and typically once you mix it together, there's a working life. So you had to figure out how much paint you needed to use for the job. And since I work all day, and I do this on the nights and weekends, the 2K has a button in the bottom. You pop it and you shake her up, and that's when you mix your two parts together for your epoxy. But I don't know if it's I don't know enough about it. I don't know what the shelf life is once you break that seal and you mix it up. So I'm not going to do it. I'll stick with the 1K. So, that's what I use. Good example of why I use it. I've done a whole bunch of patchwork and welded grinding in there, and that's all primed. But there's a little more work to do. But that's Weld 2 primer. So, I can let it sit, do other stuff, and when I come back to it, I don't have to worry about cleaning it all up again. I mean, it's dirty, so yeah, I gotta clean it a little bit, but I can leave something. Come back to it later and keep on working on it if I want to. That's why I like that stuff. I don't know the durability of it. I guess we'll find out. Oh, and as that dries, the other thing I like to use, well, Lisa got me a girly calendar. Said a man's garage isn't a garage without a girly calendar. Swimsuit edition. Apparently, she wants me to take her to the beach, so hoping I get motivated to take her to the beach. Other thing I like to use. Oh. Ospo. That's a second gallon. There's already been a gallon of that dumped on this car. Because this is all patches. A lot of it needs to be finished. But inside there is all Ospoed. That's all Ospoed. And it's kind of cool because I stripped this a while ago. I started stripping this, and it takes it from this nice shiny when you get done, and then it reacts with any kind of surface rust on there, and it puts on this coating. Because for anybody new, this is a tent garage, which is not waterproof, and water comes pouring down and runs across the ground, so this place turns into a damp, wet mess when it rains. It's beautiful out there, but it's supposed to start raining, I think, Thursday, and all the way to the end of the forecast. So I should probably get this cleaned up and sprayed down. But yeah, that would have been nothing but rust by now if I wouldn't have Ospoed it. Looks like there's a few spots that I need to hit and hit again, but it does a really nice job of saving your metal till you can get back to working on it. So yeah, that should almost be ready to flip over and paint. So let me get to work. Oh, and the other thing on Ospo, the first night I got it, I went over to Family Dollar and got a $1 spray bottle and figured, oh, I can use it tonight. I'll get a better bottle next day. Well, it does not hurt the seals in a cheap bottle because she sprayed a gallon of that stuff out so far. So, that's kind of cool. You just need a cheap, that's how I do it. I put it in a cheap spray bottle. I can just sit there and spray it all down. Well, you can kind of see on the concrete. I don't care. Other thing. She's all primed. And that lip's cleaned up. I gotta pull that other pan out and blow it, and sweep it and blow it so that all the dirt's out from underneath it. For those new, I really don't care if I get paint on them tires. I mean, they look really nice, and they are really nice tread, but they're dry rotted, so it doesn't really matter. I was looking for a cheap set of tires to pop on the original rims, and they wanted 40 to 45 bucks a tire for them. Plus, I'd have to have them mounted. I didn't need them balanced. I just needed something for a roller, and I was on Marketplace and found a set of factory bug rims. All four of them, 80 bucks. Lisa was going down to they was down by St. Louis, and Lisa was going down there to pick something up, and I didn't argue on the price. I'm like, I'll take them. Can't beat 20 bucks a freaking tire. Already on, ready to go. I'm like, as long as they hold air, I don't care. And they're a lot nicer than I thought they were, but they do have some weather checking in them. So they are a little dry rotten. So they're not driver tires, they're roller tires. When I get done with the project and figure out what wheels I'm putting on it, I'll probably find somebody else that needs a set of roller tires for their project. So let me see what else I can get done. Alright guys, I'm about ready to start burning this thing in. Those are 16 gauge pans. They're the best pans you can buy. Not that it matters or I'm a purist, but that is the German stamping. So that tunnel is really nice shape, and those ends on the flanges are in real nice shape, so I'm gonna probably turn my welder up because that's 16 gauge. I think it was 22 mil, 16 gauge pans, and really thick metal, so I should be able to burn those in really nice. I use flux core wire. That thing can do a tank, but I'm not going there. So I am going to play with it and see what I can get done. But I'm thinking I'm turning the heat up. I want some good spot welds in there. So let me see what I can get done. Okay guys, I got my spotlight on there because I can't see where the shit. I got an old Blue Point welder. Typically I run mostly one, maybe two, depending on how thick the metal is. One burns through most everything, but if I get some good metal, I can crank it to two. Well, I started that on a 2, went to a 3. I'm at 4. So that should be burning the shit into that thing. So, alrighty. We're getting somewhere. So yeah. I'm up to 4. It started to melt the side of the pan if I held it on there too long, so I think that's as good as I can get. I'm gonna say 4, and I'm running this thing. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Get this thing welded in. Alright guys, I didn't mean to go all the way down that one side. I'm going to go up in here and start working, because I don't want this thing to start kicking out. That's locked in really nice, but heat does some funny things to metal. But I was trying to figure out the welder, how hot I could get it. I want it as hot as I can go, because I want this thing locked in good. So I'm going to put you on a stand. Since I only had the one welding mask, I don't really want Lisa in here. I don't need her getting welder splash. I've had that before. That is no fun. So I'll put her on a stand and I'll try and fast forward through this. I don't have any music yet because I still trying to figure out the copyright stuff. But I'll try and fast forward you through most of it and see where we end up. Hopefully the video ain't forever long. I try to do 15-minute videos at night, but we'll see. Well guys, I don't have a good spot to set the camera up, so this is what it's going to be. And I'll try and fast forward to the rest of it. So, I am not guaranteeing anything. Hopefully it turns out. Alrighty, guys. I just heard Bonbon come in. Where's Inspector Bonbon? Oh, there she is. Yeah, she came in for food. She's not really inspecting. Alrighty. That's a lot of holes. It needs to be seam welded over the end. Probably do a little seam welding over there. Seemed like it was pretty decent. I might put a seam weld right in that valley right there, just in case. She's not going anywhere though. So yeah. That pan is done. Well, Doug, there's my toolbox. She's a little messy right now, but needs to be wiped down. But there she is. It's the Bel Air edition.